In a world that is drowning in noise, a constant flood of notifications, opinions, hot takes and chatter, what is the most powerful sound you can make? What if I told you it was no sound at all? We have been conditioned to believe that power is loud, that to command a room you must have the loudest voice, that to win an argument you must have the last word. But the Stoics, the masters of inner fortitude and psychological power, knew a deeper truth. They knew that the ultimate form of power is not found in what you say, but in what you choose not to say. The title of this video is a promise. We will explore 6 specific high-stakes situations where the smartest, strongest, and most strategic response is deliberate silence. This is not about being passive or submissive. This is about learning to wield silence as a shield to protect your peace, as a tool to gain wisdom, and as a clear demonstration of unshakable self-control. Before we explore the power of the unspoken, go to the comments and tell me when you find it hardest to stay silent, when you are angry or when you are nervous. Let's learn the language of silent strength. Situation 1. Be silent in the heat of anger. The situation: you've been wronged, insulted, or betrayed. A hot, blinding wave of anger crashes over you. Your heart pounds, your jaw clenches, and your mind races to find the most cutting, vicious words to hurl back at your offender. Every instinct in your body is screaming at you to speak, to fight, to unleash the storm. The Stoic choice. In this moment, you choose silence. You close your mouth. You breathe. You create a space between the trigger and your response. This is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate act of wartime discipline, the wisdom behind it. The Stoics, particularly Seneca, called anger a temporary madness. It is a state of cognitive poison. Any word spoken from this state is almost guaranteed to be something you will later regret. It will be imprecise, overly emotional, and will likely escalate the conflict, not resolve it. Silence, in this context, is not surrender. It is a strategic retreat to higher ground. You are refusing to fight the battle on your enemy's terms, in the chaotic mud of pure emotion. You are starving the fire of the oxygen it needs to grow. By remaining silent, you are not giving them a free pass. You are communicating that their provocation was not powerful enough to hijack your reason. You are demonstrating that you are the master of your own mind, not a slave to your impulses. Situation 2. Be silent when you lack full knowledge. The situation: you are in a meeting or a discussion, and a topic arises about which you have only partial or superficial knowledge. The ego, however, feels the pressure to contribute, to seem intelligent and informed. The impulse is to offer a half-baked opinion, to repeat something you vaguely heard, to pretend you know more than you do. The Stoic choice. You choose to listen. You observe. You ask clarifying questions if appropriate, but you do not offer an opinion. You become comfortable in your own quiet ignorance, the wisdom behind it. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and to remove all doubt. This old adage is profoundly Stoic. The virtue of wisdom is not about knowing everything, it is about understanding the limits of your own knowledge. Speaking from ignorance is a vice of the ego. It is a desperate attempt to protect your external image at the cost of your internal integrity. A truly confident person has no fear of admitting they don't know something. Silence, in this case, is the sound of intellectual humility. It allows you to actually learn from the conversation, to absorb information, and to protect yourself from the embarrassment of being exposed as a fraud. People do not respect those who pretend to know. They respect those who have the wisdom to know when to learn. Situation 3. Be silent when your words would only serve your ego. The situation: You've achieved something great. You won the award, you closed the deal, you proved your critics wrong. The temptation is to boast, to tell everyone about your success, to list your accomplishments, to subtly, or not so subtly, seek the admiration and envy of others. Your ego is hungry for praise, and words are its favorite food. The Stoic choice: you let the achievement speak for itself. You feel the inner satisfaction of a job well done, and you resist the urge to broadcast it. You practice quiet confidence. The wisdom behind it. Epictetus warned his students against talking at length about their own accomplishments. Why? Because the need for external applause reveals an inner poverty. If you need others to tell you that you are great, it is because you yourself are not yet convinced. True self-worth is an internal state. The Stoic finds satisfaction in the virtuous action itself, not in the praise that may or may not follow. By remaining silent about your victories, you communicate that you are not playing for the crowd. You are playing for the approval of your own rational mind. This self-sufficiency is magnetic. It signals a deep, unshakable confidence that is far more impressive than any list of achievements you could ever recite. Situation 4. Be silent in the presence of gossip and slander. The situation: a conversation takes a negative turn. Someone begins to speak ill of an absent person, a colleague, a friend, a public figure. They share a rumor, a criticism, a piece of slander. They look to you, expecting you to join in, to add to the chorus, to validate their negativity. The Stoic choice. You offer no contribution. You do not nod in agreement. You do not add your own story. You remain a silent, neutral presence. The wisdom behind it, the Stoic virtue of justice, is not just about your own actions, but about refusing to participate in the unjust actions of others. Gossip is an act of cowardice and injustice. You are attacking someone who is not present to defend themselves. To participate is to stain your own character. Your silence in this situation is a powerful moral statement. It is a quiet refusal to trade in the cheap currency of negativity. It may feel uncomfortable. The other people may even see your silence as a judgment, and in a way, it is. It is the judgment that this conversation is beneath you. As Marcus Aurelius would advise, you must not waste a single moment of your finite life on the affairs and failings of others, unless it is to help them. Silence is your shield against the poison of slander. Situation 5. Be silent when listening provides more value. The situation: someone comes to you with a problem. A friend is hurting, a colleague is confused. Your impulse, driven by a desire to be useful, is to immediately offer solutions, to give advice, to share your own related story, to start speaking. The Stoic choice. You practice the discipline of deep listening. You silence your own internal monologue and give the other person the rare and profound gift of your full, undivided attention. The wisdom behind it. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, famously said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we may listen more and speak less." Often the greatest value you can provide to someone is not your brilliant advice, but a safe space for them to untangle their own thoughts. By remaining silent, asking simple, open-ended questions, and truly hearing them, you empower them to find their own solutions. Furthermore, you are gathering information. To offer a solution before you fully understand the problem is the height of arrogance. Silent, active listening is an act of both wisdom and compassion. It builds trust and respect far more effectively than any rushed piece of advice ever could. Situation 6. Be silent when your actions can speak for you. The situation: you have a new goal. You are going to start a business, get in shape, learn a new skill. The temptation is to announce your grand plans to the world, to talk about the person you are going to become. We do this because talking is easy, and it gives us a small, premature taste of the validation we seek. The Stoic choice. You keep your plans to yourself. You work in silence. You let your results be the announcement, the wisdom behind it. Deeds, not words. This is a core Stoic creed. Talking about your plans can be a form of procrastination. It can trick your brain into feeling a sense of accomplishment before you have actually accomplished anything, draining your motivation to do the hard work. The Stoic warrior trains in private. They build their strength, their skill, and their empire brick by brick in the quiet discipline of daily action. They understand that a reputation is not built on declarations, but on demonstrations. Let others talk about the great things they are going to do. You will be the one who does them. The silence of your focused work will ultimately create a result that is louder and more respected than any proclamation you could ever make. Silence, when used deliberately by a disciplined mind, is not an absence. It is a presence. It is the presence of mind, of control, of wisdom. It is the space where you protect yourself from foolishness, where you learn from the world, and where you demonstrate a strength that requires no announcement. The world is full of people who are masters of speaking. Aspire to be one of the rare few who is a master of silence. For in that silence, you will not only hear the truth of the world around you, but you will finally, and most importantly, hear yourself. Now, go back to your comment, angry or nervous. Reply to it with the word control. It is your commitment to begin mastering this silent and ultimate form of power. If this guide has shown you a new dimension of strength, subscribe to the channel.